Hey guys, I have a 2010 Lexus RX450h. The inverter went bad. This is the same for 2010 to 2015, so I'm going to show you how to remove it. First, we removed all those plastic pieces, and next we're going to remove this air box. We're just going to take off that hose and move the air box just like that. Next, we're going to pull off the fuse box. You just pull it up, and then there are two 10mm bolts right there we're going to remove, and that lets the coolant reservoir move around. Next we're going to move this hose really quick, and I just put it back on so it wouldn't leak coolant, but it is off. From there we're going to use a 10mm and remove all of these bolts on the top that hold the connectors in. I think there's about 10 or 12 of them. And then we're going to remove the 10mm bolts that hold on the cover. From there we're going to remove this cover, and then we can see these other 10mm bolts we need to remove in order to disconnect the connectors. Might as well remove the engine air filter while we're at it. Right there we have two 12mm bolts we got to remove. So let's do that right now. Now we're going to remove that 10mm bolt so we can remove that reservoir as well. Get it out of the way. So down there is a 12mm bolt. Let's remove that one. After it's removed, be careful not to drop it. Okay, over here there's a 10mm on top of that clamp. We're going to remove that just so we can hopefully get the air box out. In reality, I didn't remove the air box. I don't know why. It was hard to remove, so I did this without removing the air box. But if you can remove the air box. Now we're going to remove more of these 10mm bolts that hold on the connectors. I used a magnet to remove them after we got them unscrewed. I think there's 3 for each of them, and then 2 for each on the ends. Now we can disconnect the connectors and push them out of the way.
So now we're going to disconnect those and push them to the side. I'm going to have to remove that clip so that can not.
So now we're going to remove all of these clips that hold the wires onto the inverter. There's quite a few of them, and that way we can remove the inverter without having the cables attached to it. So just look around it, you'll see all of the ones that are hooked onto it.
Down here,
some of them are just hard to see, but I'm trying to point out them as best I can. There is a 12mm bolt down there, I believe. Be very careful when you remove it. Oh, and we lost it. We'll get that after we remove the whole thing. And there is another one. Remove that one and grab it with the magnet. Okay, down here there is another one we're going to remove. Get that thing out of there and be careful when you're picking it up. Now we're going to remove this cable right here. Pop it off. Okay, so if you're looking at it from the front of the car, in the back right corner, there is a cable that has a plastic cover over it. We're going to pop that up, and then there's a 10 millimeter bolt. We're going to remove that. That's what we're doing right now. Right there.
For this connector.
Now we're going to remove this cable. There's a piece on the bottom. You push it down and out towards you, and that'll enable it to come off. And there we go. We got that off. And right there, that's the piece, that gray piece that you gotta pull out in order to remove it. Next, we got that other piece out. There's a clip right there. That's how you remove that one. That's below the other cable. Now we're gonna remove the hoses down here. There are 3 of them, 2 or 3 of them, I believe. Move the clamps out of the way. And then use a pick to unseat it and then slowly push it off. Easy does it. Should probably have something under the vehicle too to catch all the coolant that comes out, or you can stick a screw in there to plug them, to plug the hoses. Okay, we got that one off, we got the other one off. Next we're going to get this connector, the green connector, push that up, and then we can pop that one off as well. That's on the front left side of the inverter. We'll remove that hose just to make it easier to remove it. Now we're going to disconnect this last connector, the middle one.
We have reinforcements and got a different.
And from here, I think we just have another harness that's attached to the inverter, so we're going to pop that off.
Know that it's going to take about your battery's whole battery's life. I think it was at 20%. There's one more.
After we get it off, we can lift it up and out. And there we go. It is off. I grabbed the reservoir as well. Okay, so looking down here, you get all these things you gotta remove. Here's that one that we had to remove. This piece right here. This one, that hose, this connector right here, this one, and